Well, there's the secret compartment. Oh, I can't get into it. Ouch! Alright, never mind. I've had enough.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Ooh, hi everyone, this is Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. And I am sitting in a 110-degree car outside of my local Wawa because it's Hoagie Fest. And if you know what Wawa is, then you know what Hoagie Fest is. Woohoo! I'm not going to go into that. Okay, let's look at what I've got, but let me have a sip real quick. Here comes. That was good. I've got 3 things to show you from the thrift shop this morning. Who is that? Go away. Okay. Let me read for you this poem or motto as I wait a minute. Okay. First of all, now look, we don't even have to look for a date on this. Sometimes they're dated, a lot of times they are not. Look at the blue paint around that frame. Now, what have I taught you that blue paint on a frame like this, classic, ooh, very early 20s, it may even show up in the very late teens, into the early 30s. You'll see that a lot, all the Maxfield Parrish prints and the Fox prints, you'll see that. Okay, so let's read it. It says, the sweetest world of all. No, I messed that up. It says the sweetest word of all. Golden as the sunshine lightning upon a room, fragrant as a rosebud bursting into bloom, playing on your heartstrings with music like no other, sweetest word in all the world, the precious name of mother. Okay. Now you'll say, Scott, keep that and give it to your mother. My mother doesn't like stuff like this. She doesn't like a lot of stuff around, a lot of stuff around the house. So I always do something for her for Mother's Day, but this wouldn't be it. So I don't know, we'll hold on to that until at some point. Just a little dish. I had a relative that used to say dish, and my cousins and I were laughing about that last time we were together, and I can't remember who it was. Some old either grandparent or aunt or uncle would say dish. Put it in a dish. I'll take a dish of ice cream. I don't know where they got that from. I just don't know. But that's old. Oh, get that out of the sun. That'll fade. Okay, one more thing. And then I'm getting out of the sun. And I'm going to eat my hoagie. I have a jewelry box. For those of you who don't like to hear me say jewelry. Look, it's covered in carpet. Now, it's got little metal feet. And it says, made in Japan. Now, I turned it. All right, we ain't getting anything out of it, which means we may need to investigate. But let's open it up. You big dummy. It was one of those that only plays when you open it. You big dummy. You should have known that. You know better. Okay, let's see if we can name that tune. La da dee dum, 'twas on the la da dee 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 dee. Another that is and there on the Isle of Capri. No. 'Twas on a night like is this the Isle of Capri? Or am I confusing that with the Swallows? La-da-dee, that I saw her was there on the Isle of Capri. I think that's what it is. Anyway, There is when the no, that's when the swallows go back to Capistrano. This was the Isle of Capri, not the same thing. Let's hear it again. Ooh. I've never met a mirror I don't like. Oh, this woman is staring at me, but she's happy she has her hoagie. The Isle of Capri. Did she leave any jewels in here? Well, there's the secret compartment. Oh, I can't get into it. Ouch! All right, never mind. I've had enough. Let's go get under an oscillating fan. Okay. Good, hello, and welcome to the parlor of the 1925 bungalow. It's nice to get out of that hot truck. Well, I've topped off my Wawa. What am I? I think this is, I don't know what it is, but it's good. Some kind of cola. We're going to have a thrift haul. I'm surrounded here on the floor with things that I've picked up in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. A couple of the things are in the eBay store. Most of this you have never seen. I can't wait to show you. And then at the very end of this video, I am going to give you an update on how our dear friends Tammy and David are doing in Texas. So for those of you who are concerned about them, and I know so many of you are, if you'll stay tuned to the end of the video, I'll tell you a little bit about how they're doing. Also, I want to tell you about my upcoming schedule, as they say in Britain. At least I think they say that. Well, Miss Marple does anyway. The Vintage Vinnie will be motoring this way, and he should arrive tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. We're going shopping on Thursday, and then Thursday night we're going to have a chit-chat with us. Turn on the electric oscillating fan, get yourself a tall, cold, whatever, set up your charcuterie board, and join me and Vinnie at 8 o'clock Thursday night, that's tomorrow night, at that dining room table. I don't know what we're going to do. Hopefully show off all the wonderful things that we bought that day tomorrow. And then we're coming back Friday night, same time, 8 o'clock, with a live sale. Now, it's just going to be me and Vinnie doing that live sale Friday night. But Friday at 12 noon, we are going to be meeting the Revive It sisters. I can't believe I said it right. I keep calling them the Retrieve It sisters. I don't know why I have that stuck. But the Revive It sisters are going shopping in Philly with Vintage Vinnie and Scott from the old Curiosity Shop. That'll be Friday afternoon. I don't know what's going to happen Saturday. Probably something. We might just turn the camera on and let you watch us fight. But I hope you'll join us Thursday, Friday, and possibly Saturday night for some fun. Now, speaking of the Vintage Vinnie, okay, Vinnie, if you're watching, and he's not probably because he should be packing, but if you are watching, turn it off. Turn that thing off because you'll ruin the surprise. And don't any of you tell him. But you know, we like to give each other little things that we know each other would like. When I saw this in the thrift shop, it had Vinnie written all over it. And I hope he doesn't have it, and I can't wait to see his... Oh, wait a minute. Warning. I can't wait to see his face when he gets her. Well, I guess we're allowed to. I mean, after all, she's standing up there showing off all her glory, front and back. And so are these little naked bookends over here. But anyway, it's an ashtray. I don't know, maybe made in Japan. Got to be from the 50s or the 60s. There's no condition problems on that at all. Can you imagine? Nothing on her is damaged, as far as we can tell. So I can't wait to give that to Vinnie as a surprise. So, Vinnie, if you continued watching after I warned you, then you ruined your own surprise. Now, before I forget, I know that a lot of you are aware of the house fire and the complete loss that our dear friends Tammy and David, and I told you I would talk about that at the end of the video, and I'm going to, but I want to address something else first. There is another person in the thrifting community who is present on different channels, who has purchased from me. I don't believe that he has his own channel, and I don't have permission, or I didn't ask permission, to give his name, although he may have already said something about this on social media. I don't know. But he's watching, because he watches, and he did email me. Tragically, 3 weeks ago, he also lost his home in a tragic house fire. He was a lifetime collector of carnival glass. And so what I want to do now is, if you're watching, or when you're watching, if you give permission for us to announce who you are, I would love it. Love it. Because, you know, he said in an email to me, I thought about throwing in the towel. He lost probably 300 or 400 pieces of carnival glass. And those are things, we know that. But sometimes you need some extra reasons to just get up and keep going. And he decided, you know, I think maybe I'll get back out there and try, because I need this, to put some carnival glass pieces together. Well, buddy, I got 3 pieces coming to you as a gift to start recharging your collection. It'll never make up for what you lost, but I hope it'll encourage you to keep on moving and to know that people are out there that are concerned. So I've got 3 wonderful pieces of carnival glass that I'm gifting to you. What am I going to do with them? They're just sitting here in a china closet. I've got 2 pieces that belong to my grandmother, that belong to my great-grandmother. I'm not giving you those. But the ones that I've thrifted, they're yours. So peach opal, that's Dugan, right? You're the expert, not me. Isn't that Dugan diamond? And then look at this one in this ice blue color. I love that. And then there's the Fenton question mark. Look, you can see I only paid $3.99 on the bottom of that. So this is nothing for me to do this, but it might encourage you. I keep saying you because I don't know if I'm allowed to say your name. So 3 pieces of carnival glass, no chips, no cracks. They're coming to you. Start your collection again. And once I find out if he will allow me to announce his name, you might have an extra piece of carnival glass hanging around your china closet, and maybe you'd like to pass it along to someone in the who's a part of this thrifting community who has also very sadly lost his home and everything. He made it out with his dog, and that's it. So we know human life is more important than things, but you've got to live, you've got to keep going, and let's hope that this might cheer you up. You know who you are. I haven't written back to you yet. You know me in email, but that doesn't mean that I did not read your email or that I didn't keep you in my thoughts and prayers, and we're sending out good thoughts to you. Okay, so I wanted to do that. Remember, we'll get to Tammy and David at the end of this video. Let me show you what I have been buying. Now, you already saw what was out in the truck. Just very quickly, no, that's a straw mark. Ooh, 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 ooh. For a minute, I thought we had a crack that I didn't know of. All right, there's a neat old sort of 1940s kitchen fixture. If anybody needs one, I don't. That's in the eBay store right now. And you can go bid on that if you'd like to. Guess what else is in the eBay store right now? Not one of these, but 2 of these. Now the other one is right here. I've got little flickering candles in there, and they're not showing up. So why don't I insert a little piece of video right now? Wasn't that neat? So these are mid-century, 1960s. They're copying Victorian era mantle lusters. Yeah. So we have all of the glass prisms, not plastic. They've all been washed because they were covered in nicotine. Wasn't everything in that era. You'll get these too. I am using little flicker lights in them. These are completely hollow all the way through to the bottom. So they could have been electrified at one time. It was possible to do that. I personally would not use a flame candle in here for safety. I'd use the little flickers. So probably only a couple of days left on these in the eBay store. All right, so they'll be fun to ship, but you know, I'll ship them and I'll insure them. Now, look what I bought just yesterday, and I'm hanging it up on the wall. You grew up with these at your grandparents' house. That's an old 1930s thermostat. You know it. I love it. Look, we can even see, what's the temperature in here? My air conditioner thermostat right now is on 79. Yeah, it's about right. Yeah. Minneapolis, Honeywell, Chrono, Thermo. Love it. So I'm going to clean up the metal case, and I'm not going to use this as a thermostat. It's just going to hang on the wall, you know, where a thermostat would be. And just to add another, you know, period element to this house. Yeah? Remember something like this? Those old thermostats? So that's a lot of fun. What is this thing? Woo! Every time I hold this up, my jadeite runs and hides. I'm just kidding. But it sure does feel out of place in this house, doesn't it? A lot of you like mid-century, and I think this is something that you'll... Look at that. Can you imagine that thing never broke off? I mean, and it's over. Is it Viking? I put a picture of this on my community page. I said, help, what is it? I think it's a sea anemone. Anemone? Anemone? Anatomy? I don't know what that thing is, but it looks like it would come after you in the ocean. Ugh. Okay, so what classic mid-century? Is it Viking? It's got those little boop, 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 boop on the base of it. I flipped when I saw it. I haven't forgotten you mid-century folk, but I don't know. It's hard for me to find mid-century. It's just difficult. We have kitty cat collectors, and look at the kitten trying to get into the boot. What is it? Unkago? Probably. Yeah. And so Japan, 1950s and 60s. Hello, kitten. Now, I guess this is Siamese. It's got blue eyes, and it has a coat like a Siamese. That's either a tiny kitten or a big boot. Now, okay, cream, sugar, and teapot. No chips, no cracks. What does it say on the bottom? It says, made in USA, Lipton's tea. Ooh, it's peeing on me. That's because I wash everything, and I guess I forgot to turn this upside down so that it would dry. Anyway, there it is. Remember we had something that was Salada tea a few weeks ago. Now we're Lipton. I'm going to have to dig around and try to find out which company made this for Lipton. Is it upside down? Yeah. Some American company made this for Lipton. And you guys want to do the research for me? I'm not going to have time. You know, Vinnie coming, I got to run the sweeper. I got to make a casserole.
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one.
You know how it is. Anyway, perfect condition. Who made it? When was it made? I don't know. You guys like doing research for me, and I love it when you do it. You know me and this sandwich. All right, so I'm still putting together my little sandwich glass collection, and here we have, for the ladies who like to sit in the front parlor and trade stories. I didn't say gossip, I said trade stories. little pimento cheese sandwich and a little... So there is a sandwich luncheon tray with the cup. Now I'm going to assume anchor hocking. Why? Well, quality, good, not as good as Duncan and Miller, but what do you notice about them leaves? They have double lines. Remember, it's hocking that has double lines on their petals. The other ones who made sandwich didn't do that, as far as I know. See there? All right. Then, boy, I wish there were two. I tore that thrift store upside down. Went to lunch, went to a couple other stores, went back again, hoping I could find the second one because there would have been a pair of these dresser lamps. It's heavy cast metal, iron, steel, something, with this wonderful 1930s green paint on it. And again, two of these boudoir lamps, great shade, with little shades would be on here. Only one. So what am I going to do with it? I don't know. Westward Ho, Gillander and Sons, yeah. Now most of the time, quite often, especially if there's a lid, you'll see a Native American on the top sort of kneeling. There's no lid on this, and so all we see is the stag or whatever he is, or she, I don't know. The log cabin. And a buffalo. So all Western themes. A lot of this was, I think this is in 1880s. And you know, you think about, gosh, the 1880s, a lot of the West was still the wild, wild West. Westward Ho, oh, you can get all kinds of pieces. It was a big deal for people to collect Westward Ho years ago. I don't know if anybody is still collecting it. That's probably a spooner rather than a celery, because that would be some really mini celery sticks. I'm probably going to go with a footed spooner. Obviously, you're not going to drink out of that, unless you want to ruin your top. So frosted glass. This is in excellent condition. Gillander, right? And Sons or Son? Sons. Yeah, I think. And there's a whole line of Westward Ho. Yeah, so I'm pretty certain. I'm like 99% certain. But I make mistakes every day. All of us do in this business. Many mistakes. And we learn. There's Fire King, Swirl, Anchor Hocking. The little mixing bowl. Pink, pink, you stink! I've had this before, and when the first time I got it, I thought, well, that's some kind of a weird refrigerator dish lid or something. No, it's just a little tray. It's a little, if I'm remembering right, I think they sometimes call this poinsettia. A little roughness here and there, but it's pink depression glass. I was in the Goodwill in South Philadelphia 2 days ago. Now I've had this pattern before, and I knew immediately that it was moon and sun, not moon and stars. See, moon and sun. And it's a little planter. What's on the bottom? Nothing. So it does help to memorize certain patterns, and it's fun because when you find a pattern and it's slightly unusual and then you memorize it. Good old Robinson Ransbottom. That's it right there. I love this. We're going to be selling it. I don't know why I say we, it's me, but this I've had for a short while, but I've never shown it to you. I keep it in the kitchen with peppermints in it, and I got this maybe 2 months ago at a local thrift shop. Hello? Oh wait, you're supposed to pull off the, hello? What is that? You already know what that is. If our grandparents were alive, if my grandparents were alive, they would remember candy containers like this from the Depression era, and that's exactly what it is. Can you imagine getting candy in something like that in a little tiny glass telephone? Nice thing about this is it's got its tin screw-on bottom, and this is made by, I think it was made in Jeanette, Pennsylvania, but not by the Jeanette Glass Company. It was made by Victory. Let's throw something up about the Victory Glass Company. How about we do that? Let's throw it up, oh, pardon the expression, right now. So that was a joy to find that little thing. I don't know if I want to get rid of that. I might have to put some candy in it. Some very small candy. Now the last thing I found, I sort of hemmed and hawed. No, hemmed and hawed. Well, I always get, what is it? I did this the last time. I say it wrong. I was oscillating. Going back and forth. Should I get it or shouldn't I get it? Well, I got it. I'm glad I got it because what did I pay, like 19 bucks? 1880s, 1890s. It's called the Pittsburgh. Do you see that embossed right there? So I'm assuming, I assume that this was made by the Pittsburgh Glass, Brass, and Lamp Company. That is hard to try to say it. Brass, Glass, and Lamp Company. 1890s. Now, it's there, that cap is there, that cap is there, all of the little knobs and gizmos are there. It's been electrified. Let's talk about that for a minute. Because sometimes people immediately jump to, oh, what a shame. I want you to rethink that for a minute, because probably the fact that this was electrified is what saved it from the dumpster. Okay, now, there are two schools. Some people, that's fine. But you know what? There are others who are perfectly fine with this being electrified. They can use it safely. You know, there are folks who like to decorate in the Victorian style, and they don't really want the, well, possibly the hazard of lighting an oil lamp and such. So, you know, unlike pottery where you drill it, you kill it, I don't necessarily follow the thought that if you alter these and electrify them, that you necessarily kill the value. Now, that's not just opinion, but it's also what folks are willing to pay for something like this. It's in beautiful condition, and you know, a lot of times, if these are electrified, they can be put back into oil burning, kerosene burning condition once again, if a collector should want to do so. They did a good job. That's a good electric cord. The switch on there is fine. I have tested it. And this is still going to be a beautiful Victorian, late Victorian era working lamp for someone. And I want you to think for a minute about a tall, clear glass chimney coming out of the top. And then, let me back up. This shade, which I'm about to show you, is from the same era, but it doesn't fit. It's the wrong size, but it's close. But I'm giving you sort of a visual. See? Something like that, you know. I mean, everybody knows, but that doesn't quite fit down in there. This is too small, although I bought that at a thrift shop. But again, some type of a glass shade. They can all be made to actually work with this. So, okay, it's been electrified, but I'm not going to say, oh, what a shame. I'm going to say, hey, I'm glad it survives, and someone will be delighted to use it just like this. What do you think? Okay, so we'll put that back down. Okay, now let me quickly talk to you about Tammy and David. I first want to say thank you everyone who has been contributing. At the moment, there's over $3,000 that has been raised. And I want to address something quickly. That is, we realize that, and I know you realize as well, this is not an attempt to even begin to replace. The part of Texas that they're in is without power and underwater. I don't know if you've seen the news. I spoke to David today. I'm in regular contact with David. He is so grateful. They are hanging in there, overwhelmed with what has happened, but also overwhelmed with thanks for your generosity. I want to also thank Dee now, who's sort of handling the two accounts and getting the money to David and Tammy. This is for immediate needs. I want you to know that the $20, the $100, the $5, the $1, do you know what that's doing for them right now? They can go out and buy deodorant, toothpaste, underwear, makeup. I talked to David today and he said, we went to Walmart because we needed pajamas. I mean, they literally have nothing. This is getting some cash into their hands right away. The insurance adjusters have not arrived yet. And I've asked David and I've talked to David. I'm not giving out too much personal information. Everything that I'm telling you, I have permission from him to tell you. I'm giving them their time and their space. You are all so fantastic. Whether you've given to the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, and I want to make sure you understand that that doesn't mean that it's coffee that they get, but it is cash, right? When it says Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, it's the $2 or $3 that a cup of coffee would cost. That cash will get to them so that they can go buy some food and just the essentials that they need right now. As I said, the time will come in the next 4, 5, 6, 7, who knows how many days before insurance folks can get there, because there's other damage in the part of Texas where they are. Your generosity has enabled them, again, to simply go out and buy a pair of shoes. They left with the clothes on their backs and their pets, and that's it. So, thank you so much. There is a GoFundMe account for those who would like to contribute to that. There's the Buy Me a Coffee, and those links are on my channel, Vinnie's channel, Dee's channel, Dee the Thrill of the Thrift. And we're working on one more way, because I know many of you would like to maybe write letters or send gift cards. So if you would like to give that way, hang in there. We're going to, at some point, have an address. I'm working on that, and I've talked to David about that. They are so thankful and so grateful. Dee, Vinnie, and I are so thankful and grateful too that you're willing to help them out in this way. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll continue to. They can see everything that you've said. They're still in an area without power, so even for them to check messages, they have to travel somewhere where they can get a signal. So they're really going through a difficult time where they are right now. But it's your kindness that is just your prayers, which work, and that's most important. That's helping them on a daily basis, and it is a hour by hour, hang in there and just 1 hour at a time. So I hope I'm not forgetting anything. Don't forget to join me and Vinnie tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And thank you all for being as fantastic as you are. That's it. Until I see you, enjoy yourselves. What else am I supposed to say? That's all for now. And wait for the cat. I got that all out of order. Anyway, I got that all out of order. Let's try that again. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching. Wait for the cat. And so long for now. Now, where's my cardboard church fan?